Welcome to GigaBrain, brought to you by Spell Labs. This is the podcast where we speak to the smartest minds across the DeFi space, exploring the ideas, innovations, and people shaping the future of crypto.
We are back at another episode of GigaBrain. We are here today with Dexari, with Shahab and also Russell, and very, very interesting guests. So pretty much last week, I participated in their podcast, and now we invited them to participate at ours. So very, very excited about this. So a little bit about these guys. So Shahabs and Russ from Dexari. Dexari is a self-custodial crypto trading app powered by Hyperliquid, where you can trade spot and perpetuals with up to 40x leverage. It combines the simplicity of the centralized exchanges with the transparency and control of DeFi. So guys, without further ado, please let us know about yourselves, about the company, about why are you in crypto and why Dexari is important for you and for your lives and why you are building it. So please.
Well, thank you, John. You did a very good summary of who we are, what we do at Dexari. I am going to go ahead and start by introducing myself. So my name is Russell Shen. I came from a TradFi background, started as a sell-side analyst, working with one of the biggest firms in China. Going into the buy side, became an investor with a fund that was at the time actually managed $3 billion under its wings for ultra-wealthy Asians living in the US. Through that platform, I was able to be connected to crypto and blockchain technology. I myself find a lot of interest in the industry. We at the time actually were considering investment into decentralized, and I was fascinated by the concepts of metaverse, of NFTs, and of course as DeFi as well. So that's kind of when I started digging into the industry. By that time, I was actually already a holder of BTC, mainly just playing with dark web. Probably shouldn't say that on camera. But
we just said it last time, so yeah, it's fine, I guess.
True. But that kind of got me interested, got started. Thought the best place to build connections, to build knowledge is by working with centralized exchange. At the time, as it's often seen as the place where all projects and market participants gather. So worked at HTX for a few years. Graduated from HTX to join Gate at the time as their head of marketing, then became their CEO for the US branch. That's when I left eventually earlier this year to join Dexari. The reason for my departure from centralized exchange to join Dexari is really the interest and the understanding of power of DeFi. I believe that DeFi is a movement that no one can deny, and there's no force that can stop the trend either. People are growing aware of the advantages as well as the drawbacks of centralized entities, the advantages of decentralized entities and drawbacks of centralized entities. And, with things that has happened in our industry again, from the FTX collapse to recent DPAC caused by Binance, I think traders' trust in centralized entity is at a historical low, and this is going to further fuel the growth of DeFi and DeFi builders such as Dexari. The only hurdle I see that's kind of blocking DeFi to be mainstream is the UX, which is what we're solving at Dexari. We're trying to bring the best UX to users while give them the advantage of decentralized finance.
Perfect. So please, also, if you want to say a bit about your background too, and we then advance with the questions.
Marketer from undergrad at my MBA. After that, I went ahead and worked at a couple of Web3, Web2 companies. GoPro, me and my team, we led their entire concept of UGC that became a huge pillar of their continuous marketing efforts moving forward. then at Tastemade and Liquid Death and had successes there as well. Fell in love with crypto and the concept of micro communities, and the power that these communities brought, and the feeling of belonging and the ability to move people and connect with people in these communities. As a marketer, it spoke volumes. Something was missing in crypto, and that was the sustained longevity of marketing and the concept of storytelling and building that culture within communities. And I felt like I could make a difference. Started working with different projects and led me all the way to here. And here we are.
Perfect. So let's dig right into it. So about Dexari, for those that are hearing this for the first time, so if you can just let us know what Dexari is in your own words and what is the problems that you are solving. I know that Russell already touched a little bit in these points, but if you can go a little bit deeper for the audience.
Yeah, short and sweet. For a kind of novice trader, Dexari is to me is an everything app on DeFi, self-custodial, everything in your pocket. When you want to make trades, you want to have your entire powerhouse on your mobile phone, and Dexari offers that.
Yeah, very well said.
Okay. That's very clean, and very, very straight to the point. So, and why did you choose to build on Hyperliquid specifically?
I think there are many reasons why we chose Hyperliquid, right? I want to say that, originally, and this is only a story that both me and Shahab have heard, we weren't there yet. We weren't with Dexari at the time yet. But, when our co-founders, Zach and Chuck, were at Binance US, they were actually trying to push a decentralized exchange with the centralized exchange interface forward. They believe that the UX is what centralized exchange offers best, but the decentralized technology is what the users actually need. So that's what they wanted to build. But Binance have rejected the idea, even though they have laid it out very clearly. So at that time, my understanding is that Zach and Chuck were thinking about building something like that on their own because they do believe that the market needs it, and especially in a form of a mobile app, because they have observed how user habits are actually very much focused on the mobile side. So they wanted to create that, but there was no technology to support it, especially on the back end to settle all the trades, to provide the liquidity. It was not available until Hyperliquid came. So they actually had the idea before Hyperliquid even matured. And as soon as, Hyperliquid became mainstream, even before the builder code came out, they started communicating with the foundation, with, both Jeff and Julian, all those guys. And I think it was kind of a eureka moment where everyone kind of aligned at the same time. Hyperliquid wanted to build a robust backend offering that ability to settle trades in a centralized exchange way, but decentralized at the same time, where we wanted to provide that user experience, not watered down, but the full suite of capacity on a mobile interface. And that's exactly what we did. And that's why we chose Hyperliquid. Not to mention, of course, we do admire Hyperliquid in the sense that, they have a small team, 11 people. Now they're hiring 2 more. And they have built this beast of a project that has been powering so many traders to success. Well, they are still very much, how do I put it? Like, there's, unlike a lot of projects, I think, who, once they grow big, they became a little bit cocky, or maybe they start feeling real good, starting giving out grants after grants, feeling confident. I think Hyperliquid has a very good mindset, who's a very long-term thinking, even showing through the events that they hosted in Singapore, where they're trying to build something that's non-degen, very legitimate, very professional, and very long-term thinking. And that's aligned with our goal as well.
That's very true. That's absolutely true. And I think that's why a lot of people are drawn in by Hyperliquid in their team, right? And I also love the fact that Jeff showed up in both Korea and Singapore. And I think that's amazing, right? So like everyone was so excited. The events were very curated and very small. And I love that in the community. And to talk about community specifically, like, do you have, before creating Dexari or while you were thinking about it, did you also got also inspired by any community members in specific, or any, even the community itself from Hyperliquid? Did you talk with them, or do you talk with communities to also help you build the product, or how was this process in the beginning for you guys?
Yeah. So, for Dexari, we are actually completely driven. I wouldn't say 100%, but at least 90% driven by community requests, right? Obviously, we wanted to build a trading venue to start things off because that's the original thesis that both Zach and Chuck had, along with Sam, on the tech side. But to really understand what user need, to really build the UX out and meet with their demand, we need to know what the users actually are demanding, right? So that's what we did. We took a long time. I think we're actually one of the first to come out of a beta, which came out in February. And we took a long time to literate and taking in suggestions, advice, and kind of help enhance this product again, all the way till our official launch by end of July. So in that long time, we had a lot of waitlist signups. In fact, we had more than 50,000. We did approve, thousands to test our app. Along those thousands, many are still very active today. They are actually our main contributors that helped us shape our app and has been using our app on daily or weekly basis, putting in large trades, putting a lot of trust. I think, without our community, we wouldn't be where we are today. And even our next steps, whether we're building, for example, uh, you know, we're ultimately looking to become the house of all finance on mobile as well, right? Bring in excellent builders like you guys as well, to our app to give that easy access to users. So all that is dictated by what our community, our users are saying, what they need. So for sure, community is our number one.
Perfect. And how do you see Dexari now evolving alongside Hyperliquid with HIP3 and other upcoming innovations from the Hyperliquid community and ecosystem?
So yeah, for us, I would say that we are obviously here to grow with all the builders within Hyperliquid, and we're here to support, right? We're always trying to be involved and engaging with our partners, with our peers, sometimes even with our competitors in a way. Uh, as you might have seen, John, we throw our first trading competition, and we have many side pool sponsors. From HiPO to PEP to Altis to ApeCoin, to many. I mean, I want to list other names, but I don't want to go on for minutes and minutes. But it's good that we are getting their help. We're getting their help. It shows that they love us, and we try to feature them as much as possible and drive traffic to them to show that we also love them, right? And I think that kind of positive partnership, positive helping hand in this ecosystem is going to help us grow bigger and bigger as a whole. Kind of grow the cake bigger instead of kind of competing like a lot of other ecosystem will promote. That's kind of our strategy. Essentially, we want to be the mobile gateway to all things that's being offered on Hyperliquid. And we want to be helping as much as we could and receive, obviously, help from others too. And regarding HIP3, I think, we recently launched our social post on this already. We are going to, we already launched our first market, which is XYZ. That's the NASDAQ index. And we are in chat with many issuers, with many projects looking to build different assets on Hyperliquid. And we're going to co-market with them. We're going to do little events with them, events that will benefit our partners, but at the same time benefit our community and our users, and hopefully benefit us a little bit too, right?
Absolutely. By the way, are you going to be at DEF CON too? Like now in the next 10 days?
It's a game time decision. I would love to be there. There's some stuff at home that I got to take care of as well. I would love to be there. I will know by early next week if I'm going to go or not.
Okay. So we are participating in all the Hyperliquid events. So if you guys are there, definitely hit us up because I'm going to be there,
I would love to. If I'm going, I will reach out to you personally and ask where you're going, and we'll definitely grab a drink or coffee, whatever.
100%. So I will be there the full time of the event. I will actually come a bit earlier for Staking Summit. They have a Hyperliquid stage now because of Looping Collective, and we are also participating in that. So it's going to be really nice. So yeah, I think that the community is still so early and it's still so small that you need to be in these events.
It's a good time to be in it. You're right. You have to be in these events because it's so small, especially Latin America.
Yeah.
So it's a very opportunistic moment to go.
100%. And specifically about this and how about specifically Hyperliquid now, looking at another topic in our conversation about trends and the future of Hyperliquid, how do you see it, Hyperliquid as an ecosystem evolving in the next few years? Like right now we are evolving on the DeFi, on of course Dex side, on more and more community coming in. But how do you see that this is, I already heard so many things like, oh, it's surpassing Solana, surpassing Ethereum, surpassing everything in terms of hype, like how do you see it? Do you see this is like the next big thing? There is the beef between Jeff and CZ on Twitter. Like there is so many things happening. So how do you see it?
Yeah, personally for me, and Russell is a lot more knowledgeable to this than I am, but for a blockchain to have a great leader and a great community and people who ride or die for the project is a good sign. But also I've been in crypto for over 10 years and I've seen many of these come and go. But I think this one's a little different because of the new advancements in HIP3 and all the functionality that it brings to the fintech markets and everything else that can go into. I think Hyperliquid is here to stay and it's only going to grow.
Agreed, 100%. Russell, you want to take in also some words here? Or?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think Shahab said it very, very well. And I think the common thing for this industry, at least previously, is that there's too many people focusing on short-term gains. Too many people trying to do pump and dump. Too many people trying to create the so-called hype and kind of never really fulfill on the promise that they make, right? Mass adoption is something that people talk about again and again, but never delivers. But to me, Hyperliquid is a little bit different.
I've been hearing about mass adoption since almost since the beginning, like it's so fun.
Exactly. Exactly. Why does it never happen? Because two reasons. First is that, for example, let me use GameFi as kind of example. Why would you play a Web3 game when the experience sucks? Yes, they have a token, but if you're a gamer, you want to play a good game. And likely that's Web2, right? Why do you need to use Web3 chains when it can be done in Web2? Why do you trade on exchange for cryptos when you could trade stocks? Besides, the rocket launches sometimes on the chart, right? But a lot of charts are actually like Pump Fund, 99% of the tokens they launch kills traders, right? That kind of sentiment is always in the industry. It has been in the industry for a long time. The reason for that is because it is young, it is immature, and people are in crypto because they are not accepted in TradFi, not accepted in fintech, not accepted in the big old money. That is changing. That is changing now. With HIP3, I think that's a great first step. You have treasuries, you have volatility, you have commodity, you have forex, everything being tokenized, pre-IPOs, index, everything being tokenized. It's transparent. It's cheap to trade. It's it's on chain. You can see it, and there's very little geographic restrictions. People in China, where I am right now, if they want to buy US bond, they can buy it for the first time. That is giving power to people like never before. And that, I think, is actually, for the first time ever, a possible gateway to make massive adoption happen. So I am very, very bullish about Hyperliquid. And I am very bullish because even though this technology is robust, it's awesome, Jeff and the team is not flashy. They're not here throwing crazy parties at Maki like Sonana or Sui is doing, right? They are doing very formal things. They're doing things very organized. Once again, I think that is the attitude and that is the technology that will stay, like Shahab said, and will continue to grow and will actually make mass adoption happen.
That's a good answer, Russell.
Thank you.
That's a very good answer. I go to a lot of crypto events, and it always seems like everyone is trying to fight to see who throws the biggest party with the most insane DJ in the world, or with the most, I don't know, insane show possible. Like who has the best lasers, who has the best sound system. But it's like, I'm working in the entertainment industry, or am I working in finance industry?
Exactly.
Well, that's coming to an end, though. That's coming to an end. It was a lot worse before during the NFT era. And,
100%.
Yeah, and it's coming to an end, thankfully. Maybe there was only like one party a night or two parties a night now. Before it was like only parties.
That's true. That's very true. But perfect. So, by the way, do you have any expectations for the next Hyperliquid airdrop, or you are staying out of commenting this one? Just curious.
I mean, personally, for me, I'm not much of a trader, so I'm not really farming an airdrop. I don't think I'm going to get anything out of it. But Russell might have a different answer.
I trade. I definitely am a trader, and I trade pretty heavily. But I trade not for the airdrops. I would love to have some Hyperliquid airdrops. I would love to have one of that, the Hyper NFTs. That would be really, really cool. But I don't think I'm that big of a size yet, right? I'm still saving. I do trade. I trade with a gambler mindset, mostly just kind of as an outlet to get my stress out. But yeah, I'm excited for the airdrop, not for my account personally, but I do believe that if there is another airdrop from Hyperliquid, which, I don't know if there is, but if there is another one, I do expect more users to come in, and that will mean more users for every builder on Hyperliquid too.
Absolutely. Perfect. Thank you for these answers. So, coming back to Dexari, what is a single thing in a very short answer that everyone should know about Dexari?
Yeah, I mean, this one's a hard one because there is the Dexari that I personally envision, like where I hope we go. And then there's the path that we're actually going that a lot of times might evolve and change along the way. But the one thing about Dexari that, I've been in the team for a couple of months though, and I get to personally work with the founders and CEOs and even Russell, is that they are open to, they're not stuck in their ways. If they see something interesting, they're open to explore it. If our community members ask for something, they're open to incorporate it. So they're not very rigid. And I love that about a project because times change. And you should be able to kind of maneuver through these changes and fill the gaps of what people want. So I think we are headed towards an app that gives you all your financial needs in the palm of your hands. But it's also self-custodial.
in one word will be like adaptability, maybe, right?
In one word, for me personally, I would say everything.
Okay.
Everything would be the word.
Okay. Russell, you want to comment?
Yeah, I'm since we're just throwing one word out, and Shahab said everything. I'm gonna say best.
Best. Okay. That's like the bullish commentary,
Yeah,
right?
well,
That's
The
just
best
bullish
everything.
Yeah, I do think it's actually true. I do think it's actually true for what we are doing, right? A mobile app allows users to trade with the leverage that we do offer, with the asset, with the liquidity, with the order types, with the chart, with indicator, with everything that we have, self-custodial, on-ramp, all the things. I think the combination and the UX that everything we provide, like everything, like Shahab said, is the best, right?
Okay. Perfect. And about trends and about following up, you talked about being the best, and you have a long path going forward. So what is exciting you more at this moment in crypto and DeFi? You can say a company, you can say a trend. Hyperliquid, I know you are excited about, but maybe a company or that is not yourselves that is impressing you at this moment.
I mean, for me, it's again, I touched on this a couple of times. It's the entire ethos of crypto from the very beginning that I joined was financial freedom. Everything in your own hands. I live in Los Angeles, California. I'm constantly getting taxed left and right. I'm getting, I don't have full control of my finances here. So to be able to have everything self-custodial, decentralized, where I only have access to my money is fantastic. And to couple that with a place where I could earn yield on my money and invest my money and trade my money. I think to me, that is the most exciting thing. And I think now especially is when we're actually reaching that point with Hyperliquid and with Dexari. I think now is the time where we're actually getting that fulfillment of that promise.
Yeah, for me, the most exciting thing is, and I mentioned this already, is that this industry is finally maturing. We're seeing institutionals coming in. We're seeing, for good or bad, there's more legal framework around it. We're seeing more and more acceptance and more professionalism in the industry. And for me, I know that's finally the mark showing that this industry is no longer a niche industry. We keep talking about, our industry is, 2 trillion, 3 trillion, whatever it is. Even at 3 trillion, 4 trillion, that's still smaller than a lot of companies, right? Compared to Microsoft, compared to NVIDIA, we're still really small. Compared to the whole equity market, to the fixed income market, we're so tiny. But that is changing, right? That's what really excites me.
I'm hearing you what you're saying, and I'm just thinking BTC to a million. I follow Arthur Hayes a lot. I don't know if you like him or not, but I like him a lot actually. I like his essays. He writes a lot of essays, and he's always bullish talking about the BTC prices, and he's always talking about how BTC will hit 1M very shortly because of all this money printing. All these things that you are saying, the industry is still so small, is evolving so rapidly that we will see exponential growth more and more, and we will.
I'm a big believer of 1 BTC equals 1M as well. I'm a big believer of that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because because if you see, and this is of course going a bit off topic, but whatever. If you have gold, which is limited, but it's not that limited. Now you can actually mine gold in space, in asteroids. So this means that gold as the asset itself, yes, it is limited on Earth, but it's not limited in space. BTC is limited, like capped, like there will be no more. So it's like a piece of art. That's why you have the Da Vinci paintings going for hundreds of millions, right? Because it's one of one and will never be another one. BTC is the same thing. It's like you reach that cap and it's done. Either you have it or you don't. Either you trade it or you don't. And it's very simple. So the price needs to go up to a mil, 2 mil, 3. It will just go. It's supply and demand, basic economic rules,
I think so too. Unless a newer technology or a newer way of something comes in the future. Because I think we're hitting 1 BTC 1 mil, not financial advice, maybe like early in the 2030s.
Yeah.
And that's a long ways away. We're getting robots now, so like we don't know what's going to come in the future. But
That's true.
I'm a big believer of it as well.
That's very true.
I think,
Russell, you want to comment?
Unlike gold, the difference between BTC and gold is that, yes, gold is somewhat scarce, but we're seeing more and more in outer space. But it doesn't even matter if we're seeing more and more outer space. The reason that gold is able to hold its value is because of the consensus. It's how it's tied to currencies, tied to US dollar, tied to, even Chinese yen. The problem with BTC going to 1 million right now and not having it going to 1 million right now is because even though that among the three of us and even, everyone in the industry, yes, we have consensus that BTC worth money, that consensus is not aligned with everyone, right? If you have a gold bar, you can go downstairs, talk to a stranger, anyone on the street, and you can show them this is real gold. I'll sell this to you for this price. If it's a discount to the market price, they will buy it. But you cannot do the same with BTC. That's the only blocker. And to be honest, that's why I say that this industry being formalized, being professionalized, being mature is a very important step, because that is when we kind of start reaching outside of our industry to expand that consensus. Once everyone on this planet agree BTC is the mark that we're going to kind of use to measure, wealth or worth against inflation. Once that is the case, then of course it's going to be $1 million, $10 million, maybe $1 billion each. But before that happens, then it's going to be difficult to make that happen, right? To make that a reality.
That's true. No, that's definitely true. And I think that one thing that you said before even is the coming in of institutions, TradFi, and more people, and the kickstart of financial adoption, of mass adoption, slowly, right? That is the beginning of everything. And I think that we are going towards that, but it will still take some time for you to just go to the street, as you said, and you just say, I have 1 BTC, can I trade it to you like you do with gold? That will take some time, definitely. Because and especially I see that when I talk with people outside of the industry, like they don't know, like we live in a bubble. We live in a very small bubble that only your crypto friends know what is happening. And if you talk with anyone outside of this, they are just clueless, and it's still a headache. What do you mean we need to have a hardware wallet, or what is a cold wallet, or a hot wallet, or what does that mean? What is a blockchain, and what do you mean internet money? So this is still a reality. So it will take some time. Yeah.
So that's why, I say that I don't necessarily think it's going to happen very fast. I think it's still going to take time. Unless that, a World War III happens and suddenly people lose all the anchor, then BTC is going to fly for sure. But then, in that kind of scenario, I think I will be more worried about my survivability.
Yeah, of course. Like for me, I also think about that as I'm waiting for the war between Russia and Ukraine to actually end officially, because that will like just skyrocket in the markets, like as soon as people come back with more trust and see that, okay, there is no more war in Europe, that will also give a positive feedback in the markets and will make stocks and BTC go up like a lot. So, and I know that Trump also wants to do that. So let's see if he can still do it while he's still at office. That will be crazy for Wall Street and for crypto, actually. But yeah, anyways, going in this direction, do you think that we are in a bull market or bear market, or I already heard people saying that this is not a cycle thing anymore because now we have institutions, we are TradFi players, so the bull and bear market don't apply anymore. So what do you think?
I certainly think we're in a bull market, because I would not think that ETH and BTC would reach new highs with a bear market, right? I mean, that's the basic definition of a bull market. You have new highs. And what's typically following a new high in a pattern? A new low, right? Or a higher low, right? A higher high normally followed by a higher low. So that's probably what we're seeing, right? Market is going to do some tests, and that's perfectly fine. Maybe we'll see ETH at 3,000. Maybe we'll see BTC, maybe even at 60,000. That's possible. That is still going to be a higher low, right? But I mean, overall, that still give us a bullish trend. So yeah, no doubt, definitely a bull market. Uh, what I think is different with this cycle than before is that I don't think we will necessarily see an out season. I think out season always happened previously because it was still very small, very immature. People were chasing all kinds of things. But if you talk to anyone today, like Joe, I talk to you, or you talk to me, or we talk to Shahab, or anyone in the industry, anyone that has been in the industry for 3, 4, 5 years, ask them what they're holding. They're not going to tell you, oh, I'm holding Dogecoin. Maybe they are. Maybe. But I think majority will answer you they're holding BTC, right? Majority will tell you they're holding, okay, ETH, right? Maybe some will say Solana, some will say Hype. But I think it will be rare for someone to say, oh, I'm holding Near. Oh, I'm holding, something like that. It's going to be
That's so true.
I don't think we're ever going to get that again. I think, again, we've been in crypto for a long time. In 2016, 2015, people were holding these tokens.
Yeah, like
I was as well.
like
But I think we're at a moment where like people don't hold anymore.
well, yeah, I mean, they hold mainstream blue chip assets.
Made blue chip assets,
Yeah,
right?
and that's what's gonna see growth. That's what's gonna appreciate. It's hard for me to imagine unless like stock market. The Magnificent Seven is going to continue to grow and grow, just kind of like the blue chips in crypto. There could be a new IPO that does so well and it reaches the top. That does happen. It happens in crypto too, but probably not going to be very often. And it's going to be extremely hard to identify and catch. And if that's what your strategy is to catch that, secret rocket that nobody sees coming, then, good luck to you. I guess that's all I can say.
No, 100%, 100%. Yeah, I'll say that majority of people I know, especially more OGs, are just holding BTC, ETH, now Hype. A lot of people holding Hype, but that's pretty much it. And by the way, looking at Hype, do you think that we'll hit $100 very time soon, or what's your expectation on the Hype token?
I'm not gonna say anytime soon. I do think that here's job with Q1. Maybe. I don't, me myself, I don't think anytime too soon, to be honest. And I prefer not to hit it too soon. Because I don't want Hype to ever give the impression of a pumping token. I don't want it to ever have a rocket formation on the chart. That would not look good. I rather it consolidates and steadily grow higher. Right now we're at what, like, what's the valuation? Like 100 billion? I don't even know. I think it's under 100 billion, right? Yeah, 15B is for sure cheap, right? For sure cheap. I do see Hype eventually, if what it's been doing continues, I think within 5 to 7 years, it could reach $1 trillion in market cap. It could. Theoretically, I think what it's doing does have that potential. It has a high ceiling. That does mean that we are a long way to, fully realize the potential on the token. With that being said, I don't think that within next quarter, we'll see 100. That is unless HIP-3 performs outrageously well, which could be the case. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of builders using HIP-3, building on HIP-3 already. If that goes, extremely well, then yes, I do think 100 and even beyond 100 is possible in Q1.
Yep, 100%. And so arriving here to the end, so we are already a bit over time. So we're arriving here to the last piece of questions. To finalize, of course, with Dexari, how you see the company the next 5 years, and what will be the next steps, the roadmap? What can you tell here the audience about the next steps for Dexari, and how do you envision the next 5+ years for the company? I know that Shahab, probably this is your question, your answer, because you are the vision guy. You are like, oh, I envision everything. So please let us know your vision. Let us know.
That is true. I am always like in the clouds, and Russell always brings me back with the reality.
Don't be like
so
that.
this is a question for you, man. Like, let us know everything that you are dreaming and seeing. Like, what is the grandiose plan? Like
grandiose
the
plan is
Julius Caesar type plan. Let us know.
Julius Caesar type of plan. I'm actually reading his book. It's for me, it's very simple. It's not that complicated. A seamless entry into crypto, all access to all funds and all investments, similar to what HIP-3 is bringing forward. Fully self-custodial, a place where you can earn yield on your tokens, on your crypto, on your money. Potentially a bank card, or not a bank card, like a debit card to your crypto. That's what I love and I envision, and I believe that's where we're headed as Dexari. That's for me.
Perfect. Russell, you want to add in any final words?
No, I think it's very well, right? Ultimately, we want to be, let's say, the new standard for fintech app. I don't even want to call it a DAX app or a crypto app, a fintech app, a new standard fintech app.
Okay. Powerful words. I love it. So guys, to finalize, please let us know where people can also find you, any websites, Twitter, socials, anything. What's your socials for the company website that people can search you?
Yeah, so Dexari is dexari.com. Very simple. Russell is what? Russ_Shen.
Yeah, please do follow me. I actually just started using my Twitter. I have 100 followers. Sometimes I get bored and I start spamming on Twitter. Want to get busy, then I don't tweet for days. But please do give me a follow. I would appreciate it.
As you guys can see, Russell is a very intelligent man, and he does give out a lot of good content. And mine is at Shahab's, my name with an S at the end.
Perfect. So we are wrapping up. Thank you guys for being with us today. This was amazing. I think like the quality of last time sent here, so always very happy.
I think it's because of you. It's because of you. We've been on a lot of podcasts and a lot of spaces. You are the differentiating maker. You are the one that, you're magnetic, you're charismatic.
Thank you, man.
And your questions are easy. You understand the space. So every time speaking to you, it's a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you, man.
Yes.
Thank you. Like, let's definitely get together in Argentina, let's do something there, something fun. And guys, I will see you very, very soon. And for the audience, continue to follow us. There will be more and more episodes. Continue to give you all the hot takes in DeFi, in the ecosystem. And I will see you next time. Cheers.
Gigabrain is brought to you by Swell Labs. To find out more about Swell, go to swellnetwork.io and make sure to search for Gigabrain in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Hit the follow button so you don't miss any future episodes. Thanks for listening.